think I'm going to reinstitute my French section because of a couple of books I found this week. These books are actually these I've had for a while. I don't expect ever to sell. Well, I'll put them out there, make the French section prettier. This is from the University Presses of France. And the title of this series is The French Army at the end of the 17th century until the ministry of Choiseul. So until, Choiseul was a minister. And this particular 2 volumes is The Soldier. So it's about the French grunt during the 17th century. And, 2 volumes. The first tome, the second tome. And it's really, really interesting. Obviously the French is way beyond my ability to follow. But there are some tables in here about, how old soldiers were when they enlisted, how old they were when they retired, what their pay was, that sort of thing. The sort of minutia that can really fascinate some historians. And those I can interpret quite well. And it is really, really fun to look at. Career of the men from the Bonafou Company, recruited from 1745 to 1754. And there's the number of dead, the number of invalided, of wounded and then retired soldiers, the number of deserters, the number of those who are reformed. I don't know what that means. If it's deserters who come back, if it's criminals who were enlisted, and then the number of non-commissioned officers and that sort of thing. And that sort of thing is really fascinating to look at. Here's a map of France with desertion tables in 1763. So you can actually know how many people from Ile-de-France deserted. Fascinating minutia. There's a reason this will never sell, but to me, very, very interesting. I also have a copy of Camus' The Stranger, printed in New Jersey, in French. And most excitingly to me, The Tour of the World in 4/20 of Days. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. And, it's published, I think, for high school, perhaps for college. So there are exercises and questions at the end of each chapter in English. The preface is in English. It's published in 1926. But the text itself is in French. That was very cool. And you can see some illustrations. So we have a French language edition of Around the World in 80 Days. Good times.